In the labyrinth of life, where trials test our mettle and shadows of doubt encroach upon our peace, the ancient philosophy of Stoicism stands as a beacon of wisdom and resilience. Rooted in the teachings of great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, Stoicism offers profound insights into the art of living well. It guides us to cultivate inner strength, embrace self-control, and walk away from what harms us, allowing us to find true tranquility and fortitude amidst the chaos. Welcome to the Stoic ethos. If you are seeking a path to inner peace and unyielding strength, you are at the right place. Our channel is dedicated to exploring and applying the timeless principles of Stoicism to modern life. We invite you to join our community of like-minded individuals committed to personal growth and resilience. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content, designed to inspire and empower you on your Stoic journey. Before we dive into today's topic, we urge you not to skip any part of this video. Each segment is crafted to provide you with valuable insights and practical wisdom. Stay with us as we explore the 9 situations where it's best to walk away, according to Stoic philosophy. Let's begin this journey together, right now. Chapter 1. When confronted by anger. Anger is a fire that consumes our rationality and scorches our judgment. In the throes of anger, we become slaves to our emotions, lashing out and causing harm to ourselves and others. Seneca, a luminary of Stoicism, warned that an angry person is always full of poison. This venom clouds our reason and corrodes our soul. To walk away from anger is to reclaim our tranquility. It is to recognize that anger serves no purpose but to destroy our peace. The Stoics believed that anger is born from our perceptions. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, taught that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When we perceive an affront, we must ask ourselves if it truly warrants our wrath. Often, it does not. By changing our perspective, we can quell the flames of anger before they consume us. Walking away from anger requires discipline and self-control. It demands that we pause, breathe, and reflect. Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic sage, emphasized the importance of control over our reactions. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In this lies the power to choose our response. By walking away, we choose peace over conflict, wisdom over impulsiveness. In our daily lives, anger can arise from myriad sources: a slight from a colleague, a perceived injustice, or even a minor inconvenience. Each instance is an opportunity to practice Stoic principles. When we feel the stirrings of anger, let us remember the teachings of the Stoics. Let us walk away, not in defeat, but in victory over our baser instincts. Walking away from anger is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength. It is an acknowledgement that we cannot control others, only ourselves. By mastering our emotions, we master our lives. Seneca wrote, "He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly." In walking away, we embrace understanding and wisdom. Ultimately, to walk away from anger is to choose a path of serenity. It is to rise above the chaos of our emotions and to dwell in the calm of rational thought. This is the essence of Stoicism, to live in harmony with nature and with ourselves. In walking away from anger, we find the peace that is the hallmark of a Stoic life. Chapter 2. When engulfed by envy. Envy is a pernicious force that eats away at our contentment and distorts our view of reality. It leads us to covet what others have and to devalue what we possess. The Stoics understood the corrosive nature of envy and counseled against it. Epictetus declared, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When envy threatens to take root in our hearts, it is best to walk away. Envy often stems from a comparison with others. We look at the success, possessions, or happiness of those around us and feel inadequate. But this comparison is a trap. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that each of us lives only now, this brief instant. The rest has been lived already or is impossible to see. By focusing on our own path, we free ourselves from the destructive cycle of envy. Walking away from envy involves cultivating gratitude. It requires us to appreciate the abundance in our own lives and to recognize the futility of desiring what others have. Seneca advised, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." By shifting our focus inward, we discover the wealth of our own experiences and achievements. To walk away from envy, we must also practice humility. Envy is often rooted in pride and a sense of entitlement. By embracing humility, we acknowledge that we are not owed anything by the world. Instead, we find contentment in the present moment and in our own journey. Epictetus taught that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Envy binds us to the external, but walking away liberates us. In the modern world, social media and constant connectivity exacerbate envy. We are bombarded with images of others' seemingly perfect lives. But these are often illusions, curated to show only the best moments. By stepping away from these false narratives, we regain perspective. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Walking away from envy allows us to purify our thoughts and find true happiness. Walking away from envy is an act of self-love. It is a recognition that our worth is not determined by what others have or achieve, but by our own intrinsic value. By embracing our unique path and focusing on our own growth, we free ourselves from the shackles of envy. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." In walking away from envy, we begin to truly live. Chapter 3. When confronted by deception. Deception is a pervasive force that undermines trust and corrodes the bonds between individuals. It takes many forms: lies, half-truths, and deceitful actions. For the Stoic, integrity is paramount. Marcus Aurelius asserted, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." When confronted by deception, the best course is to walk away, preserving our honor and truthfulness. Deception distorts reality and creates a false world. By engaging with deception, we compromise our own values and principles. Epictetus cautioned, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." When faced with lies and deceit, we must control our response and choose to disengage. Walking away is an act of reclaiming our reality. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, whether personal or professional. Deception shatters this trust, leaving a trail of hurt and betrayal. Seneca advised, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." By walking away from deception, we safeguard our peace of mind and our relationships' integrity. In a world rife with misinformation and falsehoods, maintaining our integrity is more important than ever. Walking away from deception means refusing to participate in or condone dishonest behavior. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." By embodying truth and integrity, we lead by example and inspire others to do the same. Walking away from deception also involves self-awareness. We must be vigilant against self-deception the lies we tell ourselves to avoid uncomfortable truths. Epictetus urged, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." By confronting our own falsehoods and choosing honesty, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature. To walk away from deception is to commit to a life of authenticity. It is to reject the allure of falsehoods and to embrace the clarity of truth. Seneca observed, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." By walking away from deception, we anticipate and mitigate the harm it causes, choosing a path of clarity and honesty. Chapter 4. When trapped in toxicity. Toxic environments and relationships are insidious forces that drain our energy and erode our well-being. They distort our perception of ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics emphasized the importance of our inner state and the company we keep. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When trapped in toxicity, it is essential to walk away, preserving our inner sanctity. Toxicity manifests in various forms: manipulative relationships, negative workplaces, and harmful social circles. These environments undermine our sense of self-worth and peace. Seneca taught, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Walking away from toxicity means choosing to surround ourselves with those who uplift and inspire us. Walking away from toxicity requires courage and self-respect. It demands that we prioritize our mental and emotional health over familiarity or convenience. Epictetus reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By walking away, we reclaim our freedom and assert our right to a healthy environment. In toxic situations, we often feel trapped by fear, guilt, or obligation. These emotions can paralyze us, preventing us from making necessary changes. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Walking away from toxicity is an act of empowerment, a declaration of our autonomy. The Stoics believed in the importance of living in harmony with nature, which includes our own nature. When we remain in toxic environments, we act against our nature, compromising our well-being. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." Walking away from toxicity is a commitment to live fully and authentically. Walking away from toxicity also involves setting boundaries. It is about recognizing our limits and protecting our inner peace. Epictetus stated, "We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control?" By walking away, we take control of our environment and choose a path that nurtures our soul. Chapter 5. When faced with irreconcilable conflict. Conflict is an inevitable part of life, but not all conflicts can be resolved. Some are rooted in fundamental differences that cannot be bridged. The Stoics understood that peace sometimes comes not from resolution, but from disengagement. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When faced with irreconcilable conflict, it is wise to walk away." Irreconcilable conflict can arise in many areas of life: personal relationships, professional settings, or ideological disputes. These conflicts drain our energy and distract us from our goals. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Walking away is not a defeat, but a strategic withdrawal to preserve our peace and focus. Walking away from irreconcilable conflict requires humility and acceptance. It means acknowledging that not all battles are worth fighting and that our energy is better spent elsewhere. Seneca observed, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. By walking away, we choose to be unconquered by conflict, retaining our strength and serenity. In conflict, the desire to be right can overshadow the pursuit of peace." The Stoics valued wisdom over victory. Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." By walking away from irreconcilable conflict, we embody the Stoic ideals of wisdom, patience, and inner peace. Walking away also involves letting go of the need for closure. Some conflicts will remain unresolved, and seeking resolution may only prolong our suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Walking away allows us to accept fate's course and find peace in the present. Ultimately, walking away from irreconcilable conflict is an act of self-preservation. It is a recognition that our well-being and tranquility are more important than winning an argument or proving a point. Seneca advised, "He who is brave is free." By walking away, we demonstrate true bravery and embrace the freedom that comes with it. Chapter 6. When faced with unnecessary suffering. Suffering is a part of the human experience, but not all suffering is necessary. The Stoics believed in enduring what must be endured, but also in avoiding needless pain. Epictetus taught, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." When faced with unnecessary suffering, it is best to walk away. Unnecessary suffering can take many forms: self-imposed stress, toxic relationships, or futile endeavors. These sources of pain distract us from our true purpose and drain our energy. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Walking away from unnecessary suffering is an exercise in reclaiming our power. Walking away requires discernment and self-awareness. It demands that we evaluate our circumstances and make conscious choices about what we endure. Seneca observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By walking away from unnecessary suffering, we free ourselves from imagined fears and focus on what truly matters. In a world that often glorifies endurance and perseverance, walking away can seem counterintuitive. But the Stoics understood that wisdom lies in knowing when to let go. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." By walking away from unnecessary suffering, we make the best use of our time and energy. Walking away from unnecessary suffering also involves setting healthy boundaries. It means recognizing our limits and protecting our well-being. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By walking away, we cultivate thoughts that promote happiness and peace. Ultimately, to walk away from unnecessary suffering is to choose a path of wisdom and self-care. It is an acknowledgement that our well-being is worth more than enduring pain for the sake of endurance. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." By walking away, we begin to truly live, free from unnecessary suffering. Chapter 7. When bound by regret. Regret is a heavy burden that anchors us to the past, preventing us from moving forward. The Stoics believed in learning from the past, but living in the present. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When bound by regret, it is best to walk away, freeing ourselves to live fully in the now. Regret often stems from missed opportunities, mistakes, or actions we wish we could change. These thoughts can consume us, robbing us of our peace. Seneca advised, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Walking away from regret means accepting the past as it is and embracing the possibilities of the present. Walking away from regret requires forgiveness, both of ourselves and others. It demands that we release the hold of past mistakes and focus on growth. Epictetus taught, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." By forgiving ourselves, we become masters of our present and future. In our journey, we may encounter reminders of our regrets, places, people, or situations. These triggers can reignite old wounds and keep us stuck. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." By walking away from regret, we reject the power it holds over us, allowing healing to begin. Walking away from regret also involves reframing our experiences. The Stoics believed that every experience, good or bad, contributes to our growth. Seneca observed, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." By viewing our past with this perspective, we transform regret into wisdom. Ultimately, to walk away from regret is to choose freedom over bondage. It is to acknowledge our past without letting it define us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By walking away, we reclaim our strength and step into a future unburdened by regret. Chapter 8. When faced with injustice. Injustice is a pervasive force that disrupts our sense of fairness and harmony. The Stoics believed in maintaining our integrity and inner peace in the face of external wrongs. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When faced with injustice, it is often best to walk away, preserving our inner tranquility. Injustice can take many forms: personal slights, systemic oppression, or societal wrongs. These experiences can evoke anger and a desire for retribution. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Walking away from injustice is not an act of surrender, but of maintaining our dignity and principles. Walking away from injustice requires a deep sense of self-control and understanding. It demands that we rise above the pettiness of the world and focus on what we can control. Seneca observed, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." By walking away, we dare to choose peace over conflict. In the face of injustice, we may feel compelled to fight for what is right. But not all battles are ours to fight. Epictetus reminded us, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Walking away from injustice is an acknowledgement of our limits and a commitment to our own peace. Walking away from injustice also involves a commitment to personal integrity. The Stoics valued honesty, fairness, and virtue above all. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." By walking away from injustice, we embody the principles we hold dear, leading by example. Ultimately, to walk away from injustice is to choose a higher path. It is to refuse to be dragged down by the wrongs of the world and to remain true to ourselves. Seneca advised, "He who is brave is free." By walking away, we demonstrate true bravery and embrace the freedom that comes with it. Chapter 9. When bound by fear. Fear is a paralyzing force that holds us back from reaching our true potential. The Stoics believed in confronting fear with courage and rationality. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When bound by fear, it is often best to walk away from the source of our anxiety, freeing ourselves to act. Fear often stems from the unknown, what lies ahead, what others might think, or the potential for failure. These fears can immobilize us, preventing us from taking necessary steps forward. Seneca advised, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Walking away from fear means facing our anxieties head-on and dismantling their hold over us. Walking away from fear requires a commitment to courage and self-belief. It demands that we trust in our abilities and the process of growth. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By walking away from fear, we choose to react with strength and resilience. In our journey, fear may present itself in many forms: fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, or fear of failure. These fears are natural, but must not define us. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By walking away from fear, we reclaim our power and embrace our potential. Walking away from fear also involves embracing uncertainty. The Stoics believed that life is unpredictable and that true strength lies in adapting to change. Seneca observed, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." By walking away from fear, we open ourselves to new beginnings and opportunities. Ultimately, to walk away from fear is to choose freedom over limitation. It is to recognize that fear is but an illusion that holds no real power over us. Epictetus taught, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." By mastering our fear, we become masters of our destiny, walking a path of courage and possibility. In the quiet chambers of our hearts, where shadows of doubt and echoes of despair reside, Stoicism offers a light, a guide to serenity and strength. By walking away from what harms us, anger, envy, deception, toxicity, irreconcilable conflict, unnecessary suffering, regret, injustice, and fear, we step into a life of peace, wisdom, and true freedom. Let us embrace the teachings of the Stoics, walking the path of inner fortitude and unwavering tranquility. For in this journey we find our true selves, unyielding and serene amidst the chaos of the world.